Okay, yeah, tell us. Yes. Hold the mic.
Yes. Hold the mic. Alright. Yeah, so what we see here is not an experiment, that's a big word, but it's a pilot experiment. So with some of the research I'm doing, we're looking into how can we restore mussel beds. And so what I briefly mentioned before is that these mussel beds, they alter their environment. So this is also why you can see at least part of them now higher up and sticking out of the water, because they create in this soft sediment world a hard substrate, right? So they hold on to each other with byssal threads, they form like a bank. They trap sediment, so that becomes elevated, and they with this hard substrate they actually reduce the wave stress. So you can, like now not, but there can be a lot of waves, hydrodynamic energy that dislodges these mussels from this sandy environment. But that's actually an environment that tiny mussels prefer. So they prefer to settle in these mussel beds because they have a hard substrate, they have a fibrous substrate, there's protection from predation, there's protection from big waves, because if you're a tiny mussel of 1 millimeter and you want to settle here and you have a wave that is coming over, you can't bury it, for example. It's also very difficult to restore them because you basically need an adult mussel bed to get new mussels, but yeah, you don't have an adult mussel bed. So what we're doing here, or at least this is after a couple of years of research, so we're like, okay, these traits that these mussel beds have, how can we use that to restore them? So you want a hard substrate that reduces predation, that also has a fibrous substrate because they like to settle in between these byssal threads. It's a fiber. So we designed structures that are biodegradable, that should attract mussels because they have a hard substrate. That's the biodegradable plastic here mixed with wood pulp. They have this fiber, that's the coconut mat, like inside the structure, and you have this shape. So this is like a stable shape because waves will press it down and will not pull it out. Like a mussel bed also has this shape. So we, sorry?
What is anchorated? What is anchorated? Like, what is the equivalent?
Only that one pin.
Like unbraided?
Just no, just noise. Because the shape is self-stabilizing basically. Alright, so that was basically sort of a theoretical background. So we did some experiments and designed these structures, and we did the experiments to test whether, for example, a coconut mat inside this hard substrate would attract mussels, or would it enhance the numbers of mussels it would attract. So we had all kinds of experiments in my PhD. Then we redesigned these structures, and now the PhD student is, well, he tested it last year a bit further out. Different designs, whether it would attract mussels or not. It did, it worked very well. So if you compare the structure versus a... Yes, nice. Just grab it.
Good morning, Greg.
Yeah, and if you compare it to the bare sediment, you would get like maybe a few kilos of mussels in these structures after a growing season, and next to it nothing, right? So the principle worked, and then the question was, but can we actually, is it a thing here of this place next to Texel? And does that also work if there's more wave forces? What about if there is, let's say, less saline water, more brackish water? What if the sediment is not as sandy like here, but more silty? Does this actually function or not? So the idea is to do an experiment all over the Wadden Sea, like 60 locations. But we're doing science, so we want to know the mechanism. So does it work? Why does it work? And we don't want to lose structures because it was misdesigned, like because we want to know, we want to gather the knowledge and not per se the structure that should stick on the sediment. So this is what we tested here in the winter. Like if we place these coconut mats under erosion mats, underneath it, would the structure sink in the sediment or not? Just that we know that we can outplay 60 of these locations all over the Wadden Sea. You have to go there by boat. The boat costs 2,000 euros a day. You need the boat for multiple weeks, so you invest already, let's say, 20,000 euros of boat time only in placing the experiment. So you don't want to lose the structure. So that's what we did here.
Does different seasons change? Like, you mentioned like
effects on the establishment and the effects of the structures basically. So this is how science can progress. So you first untangle the mechanism. Can we mimic these traits? Yes or no? What is the effect of rope versus no rope? So you can manipulate that and then you learn from that, and then it evolves slowly. But every step takes a year basically, right? An experiment takes a whole year because the mussels, they settle in April, May, like microscopic. They grow to like this size in August, so you can count them. Then you know, and then next year again you can go through this cycle. It's a very slow cycle, so if you do modeling you can write your model and then you run the model and then, right?
Right now there's
Well, what you cannot see, right? So at the moment the mussels, larvae are like smaller than a millimeter, and they're somewhere, they're still there, they're inside the ropes. They will crawl outside of the ropes with time. And I think in September or in August it's the first time you can really visually see them. Yes.
why
So that's the standard, talk, right? You have, of course, fishery, fish them away. It's very difficult that they settle. They need this window of opportunity, it's called. So these are basically very specific conditions. So you need first a lot of larvae in the water. They can settle. But then if a few heavy storms come and they wash them away, well, you lose that year basically. If you have a very cold winter, that can kill the mussels that then may be settled. If you have a too warm winter, the crabs and the shrimp are thriving, and then they eat the mussel larvae next year. So you need like there's a window of opportunity of a lot of larvae, a good winter so that they can survive, not too many storms because otherwise they're dislodged, and not too much predation pressure. And then they can settle, but that window can occur maybe every 10 years, 20 years. You don't know, right? When these align perfectly. And that's why they also want measures to restore them.
But why do we restore?
Yeah, that's what we can probably not see today, but they are also, so they're ecosystem engineers, so they change the abiotic conditions like the sedimentation and stuff. But they're also foundation species, so once they are there, they also facilitate different species. So this is the sandy area. If you have a mussel bed, you have a hard substrate, and on the mussels they grow barnacles. On the mussels, different species of algae attached. You have tiny pools, so they have continuous water in some places, so then different species can survive. You can have shrimp and crabs. All these species then thrive just because the mussel bed is there and the birds can eat them. So you have this is the foundation of a food web. So this is a foundation species. So if you then look at the species that occur at the bare mud flat versus the species that occur in the mussel bed, it's way richer, bigger food webs, different species. So that is why they want to have it back. Yeah.
And so now you created these conditions, but were these conditions already there long ago, like when everything was perfect, right?
Yeah, so that's the thing, like in the past they could actually harvest these mussel beds then.
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're still harvesting mussels in the subtidal, so this is the intertidal where you have tidal movement, but in subtidal they're still harvesting mussels. They transfer to Zeeland and then the Zeeuwse mosselen, or they get mussels from Ireland and put them in the Easter Scheldt for 2 weeks and there's something else, Zeeuwse mosselen, so don't trust that label.
Yeah, but then these kind of conditions, were they really available for mussels long ago?
Yeah, but that's like you have this window of opportunity, then you have a mussel bed, they can stay there for decades. It can also be that there's a massive storm that will just wash it away, but then somewhere else it will